All right, so bricks. Well, I want to paint the big picture first. When you listen to this project, you're going to get different seasons of life of me when you listen to this project. Because when you listen to it all the way through, you will realize you just heard a whole story. And then you go back to it. I'm telling you a whole story. And so it's a story of the seasons of my life. And so when I start off with bricks because I was going through some hard stuff. I was going through some life. And so some people, if they met me in a certain particular season, that kind of aggressiveness, that kind of like edge, that's what you would have been met with. Bricks. You would have been met with just this tension. You know, if you go back and listen to some other songs, you know, you might have heard me get kind of aggressive on them. You know, and so I say all that to say, bricks is where you're gonna meet me. Is where you're gonna meet me there. So we start off with bricks. The funny thing about this song though, is the fact that the song at first was called something else. It didn't start off called Bricks at first. Nah, the song at first actually was called Mosh Pit. And I have a brother that also has a song called Mosh Pit, and or Worship in the Mosh Pit. And once he came out with the song, and by the way, like my song was already done, mixed and mastered and everything. But as I'm about to release this project, he comes out with this song called Worship in the Mosh Pit. And I'm like, dang, bro, that's way too close. And my brother, we get a lot of comparisons already. So I figured, you know what, it might make a little bit more sense to switch this song. So I went back to the studio and I rewrote some stuff. And I'm like, nah, whatever this is, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. You know what? It's got to be as hard as bricks. Bricks. This one is going to be bricks. So I come up with bricks. Then bricks transitions into narcoleptic. After once you get done, like getting all right, bricks got you all amped up. Then you ready to take a breath. It's like, all right, I'm good. Whew, let me take a breath, Canon. No, narcoleptic come. That really can't see me. Y'all make it look easy when they cut the chop up my leave under. Like it hits you again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I wanted you to feel like how life felt like to me. Like it. Like I'm like, all right, Lord, I didn't took a hit now. I didn't take a hit. Let me catch my breath. Bow. Another just something happens in life. All right. So I get you with narcoleptic. Just sonically. The song for narcoleptic is really pretty much me saying, man, all this stuff that we do, and you know, you only see about 10% of what we do even online because we have whole lives behind this camera. A lot of what we do, man, we have to keep pushing forward. You know, we got to push forward for our families. And even sometimes when it feels like it's like autopilot, it's like, man, I got to keep going. You know, now I need to fight for my rest, but I also got to keep going too. And so, you know, and when I do things, I want to do them in excellence. So that's why I say I'm narcoleptic. I do this in my sleep because I'm like, man, as I struggle in life, I still have to keep moving forward in life. You know, so even if I have to do it and I'm just even on autopilot, I got to keep moving. I got to keep going. But even if as I'm going the right directions, I'm also going to make sure that, man, my head is right. My heart is right. As I go and making music, I need to make sure my family is good too. So narcoleptic, I do this in my sleep. Now, if you look at the music video, go check it out. You're going to see a lot of silliness in the video. You're going to see a lot of funniness, but go check out the video. But that's pretty much what the song is about in and of itself. What's it called? Salt is, you get hit with another heavy song. Now I'm giving you something you can just ride through. You can ride through you can ride, downtown with or whatever. You just want to hit something hard. Like it's just, this song is a club banger. Salt in and of itself. What I'm saying is if we not blood, I got pressure. Watch the salt. If I'm riding, then they slide. It ain't my fault. I got a force big enough to put the game in a chokehold. I got a Navy. My little youngins, they come by the boatload. Like, so what I'm saying is, I'm like, look, one thing people will know about me is that if you say something to me, I'm going to talk back. I'm going to respond. And so, uh, I think sometimes people think because we got platforms that artists don't feel what's been said online or whatever. And I'm like, okay, listen, now it's all good that, we have a platform and that people say what they may want to say to us as artists. It's cool. But there's only so much you gonna have. There's only so much rope I'm gonna give you. All right. Like we may be cool, listening to the music and whatnot. But hey, don't push the line too much. Don't push too much. Because at the end of the day, we may not be family. You know what I'm saying? And so like I show love, but hey, please show love back because at the end of the day, this music is what we have to give to express how we really feel about things. And right now you have access to us as artists. But man, don't push the line. Like we want to put out good music, you know what I'm saying? But give us the opportunity to be honest in our music too, And so that one is more so like, hey man, watch out. Watch it. Like I love you, but I might have to love you from a distance. So that's just something about me. But after Salt, man, that's when I start getting into the heart of what I'm really been feeling. And that's when I go to Wrist. Songs 1 through 3, that was just things that have been in my heart. As far as like the tension that I would feel. But once you get to Wrist, now you get to the heart of the project. Wrist, I start talking about things I struggle with and wrestle with, internally, mentally, ways that I have, dealt with my depressions and my stress, my anxieties, and things that I felt like I had to do just to get out, or just to be myself, or to relieve myself from the stress. I was at some hard points in my life, and I'm like, man, I gotta continue to push forward. Like, if I sit here, if I stay here, like I'm not gonna get out of what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about life. I'm not gonna get out of feeling what I'm feeling when it comes towards the racism in our country, or like I'm not gonna be able to function as a human, as a person. So I need to be able to just keep going. And I say risk because I'm like, yo, whenever you think about something working, it's moving. Whenever you think about your wrist, a lot of times your wrist is working, whether it's playing the drums or chopping some onions or you shooting a basketball or you driving. That's why I say vroom vroom. Like when a lot of times when you use your wrist, you're working. And I'm like, yo, I'm going through stuff, but I still gotta work through. I gotta get through it. So you got wrist, and then wrist from wrist you got what's it? Magic. Yeah. After Rich, you go on to Magic. Magic, man, I'm talking about my cousin a little bit, man. I got throughout the year, I lost a couple family members, and I'm just like, man, I wish I had the power to just like change time and space. If I just had the magic or the power to just change things, if I had the power of the universe, like I would change the world to my own like desire. But we all know that's not a good thing. We all know, like, man, if you gave us too much power, we wouldn't know what to do with it. And sometimes I wish I could just switch up the problems in my life and poof, they be gone. But I can't. I have to deal with them. I have to deal with all of them. And so, magic is me just really talking to myself and saying, man, I wish I can just do magic and bring all my loved ones back, all the ones that I've lost. I wish I could just wake up and they're here, but they're not anymore. And this is just my way of, you know, uh, writing my love to them, and saying, man, I wish you were here. From there, I do the song, I Made It. Now, ironically, I Made It was actually the first single for this project. And I wanted people to get just a crazy glimpse of what just my life has felt like. And so my Made It is like a bird's eye view of what I've been seeing, what I've been feeling as an artist. So by the time you get to this point in the project, you should already be feeling or realizing like, or thinking, okay, Canon has went through some stuff. He's been through some He's been through some stuff. We've all been through some stuff, but he's been through his own thing. And so it just kind of just wraps it up like, all right, look, this is just where he's at. Like, it's crazy in his mind. This is what it feels like. Through his eyes, this is what he sees. Pray for Canon. But it's me saying, man, I made it through though. I'm like, man, tell them all I made it. Like, shout out to Zay Hill on the track. Like, he definitely killed that chorus, man. Like, shout out, man. He came out. We brought him out to shoot the music video. He came out and he killed it. Shout out to him. He definitely came through. I think when we worked on the song together, I told him I showed him the song I showed him the track that C Duffel sent me. He was like, "Yo, this is fire. What you want me to do?" I was like, "Bro, do what you know to do, man. Kill it. Be you." You know what I'm saying? He sent me that joint back. It was crazy. I'm like, this has got to go out. This has got to go out. And then we put that joint out. So by the time you get to the song I Made It in the project, it should feel like, man, like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, this is where he's at. This is why he feels. And then at the end is Loco. I'm like, man, that's how I feel. Crazy, but don't make me go crazy. And the song, I'm talking about why I felt crazy in certain times. I feel like, man, I had certain expectations put on me to, try to perform as an artist, and at the same time, do features and stuff like that at certain times. And I'm like, man, some of these features that have come in, man, some of these features will not be that dope. like I get requests where artists is like, yo, man, I want to be able to like work with you. And I'm like, best, send me a track. And then it will not be dope. And I'm like, man, I would have expected you to send me maybe your best song, if not one of them, but this don't really sound like you tried, So I'm as I'm going through life, I'm like, man, there's other things I got to worry about. So this really got to make sense for me to stop what I'm doing in life to actually do. If I'm, like I said in the song, I got to take my mom to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm doing stuff like that in my real life, if I'm dealing with trauma in real life, or I'm going through stuff in real life, or I'm having to hold up a new level of responsibilities or whatever, if you're going to take me away from my job, or you're going to take me away from my family, this got to make sense. And so I'm just like, yo, man, y'all making me go crazy. Why is it like this? I just want to do dope music. Let's do dope music. And so, but at the same time, I'm like, man, certain events in life just made me feel crazy, make me feel local. So if you go back, if you repeat that project, by the time you repeat it, now you're back at Bricks. Now, by the time you get to Bricks, it's like, oh, shoot, Bricks makes sense now. I see why he's so tense. I hear the story now. Now you can listen to it all over again with that perspective. So that's a song, We Made It. That's literally me saying, we made it through. We made it through. And it's not always beautiful, but you're going to get through it. Yeah, man. So that's the project, We Made It. Poetics killed it on that song, on every song. The way he made him like that, like he produced him like that. So
that was so efficient, and you just flowed from song to song.
I appreciate that, bro.
You're killing the pen game, bro. You're killing the pen game. I'll just ask one question quick. Did Poetics have the beats already? Or did you say, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Can you do this? Like, how did you guys work that out?
He did it on the spot.
So he just made a beat and then you sat and you wrote pretty much?
Yeah. How do you think Good to Go Part 2 came about? He did it on the spot. On the spot. Like, that's just how he worked. I mean, he can send you stuff, I mean, he sent me stuff all the time. But with these songs, all of these songs, he did on the spot. He did on the spot, man. And so once he sent them, like, he sent like the whole, like all the files and everything. And I'm like, all right, well, let's put it together. And then we'll be in the studio, put it together. That's why we got a lot of songs together. You know what I'm saying? Like songs that we don't even have out, just because we did it right there and then. He'd be like, all right, let's make something from scratch. And he'll make something from scratch. Or he'll be there and he'll have something there. He'll have something already. And then I'm like, oh, that's hard. Let's work on that. So, but yeah, like he Yeah, he's really dope to knock something out within like 10, 15 minutes.
Wow.
So